Hi guys, so thank you very much for joining. I see we have 100 people in the AMA, so that's really cool. Apart from myself, today in this AMA will be a few team members from MarketMove. So before we start, let me first tell you a bit more about the agenda for today's meeting. So we would start with the application part. This will be Adam. He will explain to you what's coming, basically, where's the application currently, and so on. Yeah, and basically, then we will move to marketing part. So what's coming as well, some updates with regard to the Indacoin partnerships, and we'll conclude with the AMA session. But before we move to that part, so to the application part, so I would like to also introduce two team members who have been helping us so far. So Alexandra and Robert. So Alexandra and Robert, if you could introduce yourself, tell a few words about you. Are you there? Let me DM them as well. Okay, let me DM those guys because they are really busy. Robert is the guy who prepared the video of the application. So if you have not heard, if you have not seen the video yet, so I definitely recommend you to go visit our YouTube. Yeah, but let me DM them, and basically before we introduce everyone, I will.
Michael, I think they cannot speak.
Okay, I see we have Alexandra unmuted. So Alexandra, you can also show yourself if you wish.
Yes, I am. Hi everyone, can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you. Hi there.
I don't know if it works. Okay, hi. So I'm Alexandra. I'm a marketing specialist here at MarketMove. And some of you may know me because I also do a bit of community management. And I'm responsible for managing our social media channels and other marketing efforts.
Yeah, and Alexandra has been helping us really much with regard to promoting our social media, with regard to reaching out to influencers and so on. So it was really helpful. Yeah, and we have also Robert. So Robert, the floor is yours. I think you might need to unmute yourself. Okay, seems like some technical problems.
Okay.
Hi
guys. Sorry, I had a bit of an issue trying to unmute myself. So my name is Robert. I work in the content and marketing team here at MarketMove. Yeah, and so it's a pleasure to be with you guys today here.
Yeah, and Robert is the guy who prepared the video, the guy with the radio voice. So, you know, a lot of people were DMing us, telling us, you know, that this is really a really great fit for the content. So yeah, so thank you very much for the introduction, guys. I think we can move to the very interesting part now. So the application. So just to let you know, the application will release this Sunday. So in 2 days. In order to be able to use it, you will need to hold $100 equivalent of MarketMove with a threshold for price fluctuations of 30%. So it means that, for example, if you hold 100 USD equivalent of Move today, but BNB drops a little, you will still be able to use the application. But let me give the floor to Adam. So Adam, you can explain this, in more detail. Go ahead.
All right, so hello everybody. Today I will have the pleasure to present you our results so far, what we have achieved together. Thanks to the team and the entire community. And we are very close to the release. The finishing touches are just being done. And today I'd like to show you a quick demo. So just bear with me a minute. I will prepare the screen sharing and I will explain what's going on. So just hold on a second.
And before Adam shares the screen, so I would like to add from my end that I'm not a technical guy, and I have been using this application with great results. It was able to detect honeypots, and even for newer tokens, it works pretty well. So Adam, go ahead. Adam, you're muted, so you might need to unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was sure that the click was registered. But anyway, so this is the first feature of the application, the long-awaited MarketMove contract audit. And once you launch the application, this is the screen you're gonna see. So there is just a quick intro what this is gonna do. But basically, let's maybe move straight to the point and let's test a couple of smart contracts to see how the contract audit works and if it will really help us avoid a scam. So let me start by some classic, maybe SafeMoon.
You see here, you don't really need to know, the exact contract address. This is similar to BSC scan. You can just, or PooCoin or DEX tools, you can just type in token name. If it has been verified, it will have logo. But alternatively, you can also paste the address.
Yes, so basically we are using here the BSC scan API to get the list, but to be honest, sometimes I think it's better to actually paste the exact address, because on the BSC scan you may see a couple of the similar token with the same names, and it's always best to be sure that you're looking at the right one. But either way, what we can see here, first of all, just some brief introduction. We also scan the buy tax and the sell tax. If it's possible, so you will see if the devs actually say the right values. You're gonna see overall score here. This is just like a brief information if the token is generally safe or not. What is the most important for you are the decentralization score, the security score. The code quality score is more informative. I wouldn't look at it too much when it comes to the investments. But decentralization and security are very important. So here you can see the source code. If you are a developer, that may be interesting for you. Otherwise, well, it still may be interesting, and here's why. On the right side, you can see the list of warnings and the neutral. Well, the neutral are more about the code quality, so this is not probably very interesting unless you're a developer. But what is very important is the warning section. So here we can, or there could be also a critical, but we'll get to that in a second. What you can see here is the different things that are in the contract that may be interesting from the perspective of an investor, and here's why. For example, here we can see that the owner can exclude or include a wallet in the reward. So let's see which part actually responds for this, right? So if you click here, you can scroll to the part of the code that enables this particular behavior. So basically, this means, as we can look up here, you're going to have a friendly introduction, why this is important, what is the risk for you as an investor, and if there is something you should do. So you can also learn a bit about the common vulnerabilities. So basically, why this is important, you can exclude an address from receiving rewards, such as reflections. So for example, a SafeMoon owner could exclude you from receiving a reward such as like reflection. Obviously, this is not probably something they're gonna do, but still it's good to know that there is a possibility like this. Maybe more interesting for you is to know that the owner is entitled to change the tax fee. So it's important if you see something like this to consult the dev team before investing and ensure that it's trustworthy. And you will see that those tips over and over again. And basically, well, hardly any token will have none of these warnings. So the warnings don't say that the token is not safe. It means that you should probably do a bit more research about this. So SafeMoon is generally a safe token. It's not perfect, like almost none of them are, but maybe let's look at something that is a bit less safe than that. So let's take a look.
Adam, to interrupt you,
Go ahead.
I will add one more thing before we move forward. So if you look at the name in the top left corner, SafeMoon, so this is also cool that the application automatically detects what are the current taxes. So with the application, you are also able to track if taxes have been changed. So let's say the token or a token launches on BSC with specific taxes in the contract, but using this application, you can see if the dev team, is trying to change something in real time. So you just go to the MarketMove application and you can see, for example, with our token, you can type it in basically, but we reduced the buy tax from 12 to 7%, and it's also reflected in the application. So this is a very small feature, but I think really beneficial from investors' perspective, especially when you are a new investors to the BSC. You don't know what taxes are, what slippage you should use, and so on. As for the slippage, we will also include in other features functions like auto slippage, like a more intelligent version, let's say, of the currently available solutions. But for now, you will be able to see taxes and their numbers. Yep. So go ahead.
Yeah. So this also, I think it's even more important. Thanks for that. And I think it's even more important for you to know that to make sure that the taxes actually reflect what the dev team says. So let's do another one. Unfortunately, we will not find it by a keyword search. So I will just paste the address. So it just looks up an address. It doesn't give you any information straight away. But if you click inside, it's a token. It's called Save Goku. Well, probably not many of you know about this token because it wasn't a really big one, but it was a very classical example of a honeypot. So you're going to see that the overall score is 0 out of 100, and you will not see any more scores because there is no point in having them at all. You can look at the issues, but it's not really relevant. What does it mean that we detected a honeypot? It means that we tried to simulate a trade with this token, and that trade failed. So it means that we couldn't buy the tokens and then sell them. So our AI system could not sell the tokens without getting an error. That means that the contract does not allow you to sell tokens. And unless it's a very special case, like for example, certain tokens have like a 5-second timer before you can sell. So it's a special case. This is typically a very bad sign. And this is not clickable. Okay. And that means you should, at the very least, do a very thorough research. Maybe trying investing very small funds after you do your own research, and also like ask the team why this is happening, why we are seeing this. So this is an example of something you should probably avoid, and especially if you are not sure.
Yeah, and I will add one more thing that that we run the simulation directly in the application. So basically, in the backend, there are some test trades going on, and with this system, we are able to detect honeypots with great accuracy, which is not possible based on let's say contract audit specifically, because for example, you can have tokens where taxes are changed before the launch because the contract ship is not renounced and so on. So this is a really helpful tool. And as for this token, I sent this example myself because once I've started investing on BSC, I've seen this token. It looked pretty nice, for like quick gains. But I waited for like 15 minutes after the launch, not following in, and I've seen that this was a honeypot, and also it's confirmed within the application itself. I've tested like numerous tokens, new tokens which are launching. There are a few honeypots out there, unfortunately. But yeah, I think let's move to another example, which is really interesting as well.
Right, so there is something special, which is actually something I almost invested in. It's pretty popular because it's going up in all the lists, and it's called Gravity Token. So Gravity Token has a buy and sell tax set at the gravity number of 9.87, and it's a token that's supposed to only grow, which is basically a good thing. But here's the small thing. So it is not a honeypot. It's a token where if you invest, you can still sell your tokens, but they gradually are losing their value. And here's the problem. So basically, there is no possibility that you can ever make a profit on these tokens. So we do not detect it as a honeypot. Also, like a small note that I forgot, if you noticed in the Save Goku, we did not show the buy tax or the sell tax simply because selling was not possible. So well, the sell tax is just not relevant here. You can see that there is a critical issue, and let's see what that means. So first of all, maybe we can scroll to the code. This is still work in progress, but we can see that there is a special rebasing function. So this function is not that bad because it's something that you can see in all of the stable coins. But in this very special case, tokens are lost with every supply change. So here you can see that the proportion of the tokens that are lost are proportional to each supply change, yada, yada, yada. What this really means for you is that every time the number of tokens decreases, your number of tokens decreases as well. So the price per token goes up. So the chart is a very, very beautiful, everlasting pump, but you are not getting the rewards from this pump. So this is a very smart token. They have made a lot of money, unfortunately, not in a very ethical way. Thanks to so we do not say that this is a honeypot because it isn't, but this should raise some flag that you should do some additional research. And indeed, if you look at the social media or the Telegram, well, maybe not Telegram because they moderate that, but if you look at the social media, you can see that this is how it works, that they are not able to make a profit on this token. So just a word of disclaimer, just because you see that there is a critical issue or a warning, or well, honeypot is pretty certain, but these two, it doesn't mean that you should never ever invest. Not really. It means that you should do additional research and maybe start with a very small amount if you still believe in this particular token. So this is really it for this quick intro. If we just maybe some small things, you're gonna see that there is your current wallet address here in the top corner. It's because you have to connect your wallet, and the wallet needs to hold at least a certain amount of move equivalent of US dollars. I'm not sure if the amount was disclosed already, but Mike can fill me up on that. You can also see that there is a help support button. So if you are not sure about any feature, feel free to contact us. This is also something I think is very special because the support of the tools I've been using in this industry is very limited and very difficult to get. We want to do it in a different way. The way we know from the high quality software companies, SaaS companies. So every time you are not sure about something, you can reach out to the support team directly using this button. I think it's enough for a quick presentation. So I'm giving the mic back to Michael.
Yeah, before we move to marketing, so I think, Adam, you can also
okay, all right.
tell a bit more, about the future plans for development, because the ultimate goal, and as you see, we are working hard, delivering on time, even ahead of schedule, because we promised this feature to be ready by the end of September, and we have this almost 1 week before, let's say, maybe not 1 week, but 4 days. So Adam, you can tell a bit more about the future plans for development in October and the following months.
All right, so this is what's gonna come to you very, very soon. It's gonna be out there on Sunday, which is just 2 days away. So I'm gonna really need some time to crunch out the final bugs. But nevertheless, this is only the beginning. It's the first feature we have promised, and the next thing is coming up is also something that a lot of people are missing out on, and this is an ability to set limit orders and stop loss orders on the tokens. So basically, if you go to Binance and you trade, maybe this is self-explanatory, but let me just say a couple of words. If you go to Binance, you can set any sort of orders. You can just sell or buy at the market price, or you can wait for the right price by putting an automated limit order, and or a stop loss if you're worried that the price will go down too much. So basically, here, well, we can see that most of these tokens are very volatile in price, and the worst thing you can have is to invest in a couple of tokens and need to monitor them every half an hour or so to see if the price didn't really drop or it goes up. And worst thing, let's say that you're going to bed and in the morning you're going to see that the price has severely dropped and you could not secure your profits. So this is no more once we get the stop loss and limit order feature out there, which is going to be in October. So this is very, very soon as well. It's gonna take a couple of weeks because it seems like a simple feature, but it's really not simple. That said, this is also going to tremendously help any traders out there. I'm sure that all of us have this problem. There are some tools out there that kind of do it, but well, I wasn't satisfied with any of them, so I still have my own little tools that help me with this as an investor. But I think such a tool is something that everybody that invests should have to be able to really feel safe about their portfolio. So that's the next feature that is confirmed. And for the next features, we have a roadmap, but it's still a community-driven project. So during this development time, during the time that you're gonna test what we have already baked for you, we're gonna run polls, we're gonna ask you questions, we're gonna run a regular AMA so that you can speak up and say, okay, we're missing this and this and this in this industry. Guys, please help us implement this. We want this feature. So this is the future. This is how it's gonna go later on. All right. I think we're good, Michael.
Yeah, I think we are good to go. So basically, the next feature will be limit and stop loss orders, also with auto slippage. So this is something that people have been struggling with different tokens, with volume going up and so. And ultimately, this will be, as you can see, we are not just words like some companies out there and promises, but we focus on delivering. And this is something that will be completed by the end of this year, like with the most important features. So moving on to marketing, let me maybe give you a short update for people who are new to the project, who have not been tracking announcements. So first of all, I really recommend everyone to join our official announcements channel. So in our official group, a lot of information is just being lost because it's so active. People are really great and are taking active part in the community. But basically, the most important information is always in the official announcement channel. So MarketMove AI News on Telegram, also on our Twitter. So as for the short update, so first of all, I think it's really important that we are incorporated. It opens a lot of doors for institutional investors in the future, for bigger partnerships, because most legit and big companies require you to be a legal entity. Like in Indacoin, this was a requirement to get this partnership going. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that we partnered with Indacoin. So some people don't really realize how big it is, because first of all, it will enable people to buy Move with credit and debit cards, MasterCard and Visa. And the second thing is that Indacoin is already a very known, established brand, which has daily users of like 500, 600 investors. So this is really huge. And they already listed, I think, like 50 or 60 tokens. So that's basically nothing. Not only our investors will be able to buy Move with credit cards and debit cards, but also Indacoin investors. And next week, there will be an official AMA session hosted on Indacoin social media channels. As far as I know, and I've been talking with them, and this usually involves from 200 to 600 people in the AMA itself. It will be heavily promoted afterwards as well. So this is really, really huge. As for other marketing efforts, in the short term, so what's coming? Tomorrow, there will be a video from a very known YouTuber. I don't want to disclose the name, but he has almost 500,000 subscribers directly in the crypto space. His videos have usually like 1 million views, 200K views, and so on. He also runs Twitter, his own crypto blog, and so on. So and this will be a very big thing with regard to getting people to know about MarketMove. We also, were lucky enough to swap some marketing funds, to stable coins before the big drops. So we have secured funds for further promotion with regard to Twitter influencers and so on. Also, big news releases will be coming. I don't mean like paid releases, but official releases in newspapers, which won't be in the promoted section. They will be official releases in various newspapers. We are aiming currently, in the following weeks for newspapers like Forbes, for newspapers like Bloomberg, and so on. There's also discussion going in the background with Financial Times. Currently there are really big things happening, and the next milestone, let's say, would be getting listed, which will happen within the next couple of days after this call. After this AMA, we will have some final discussion with Indacoin to officially, allow people to buy MarketMove with credit and debit cards. And I will add just one more thing to that, because what's cool is that many people are not really in the crypto space, and if they want to buy something, even if it gets promoted, let's say some tokens go for billboards, in New York, some big money dropping. But people are then like, okay, I like it, but how do I buy it? And it turns out that you need to download MetaMask, set up your account, so swap it from Ethereum to BSC, use something like Pancake Swap, what is slippage, and so on. So it's really complicated. And by allowing people to buy the token with credit and debit cards, it's just simple as going to the Indacoin's website or our website, with the API integrated, and they can do it straight away, place their credit cards, and that's all. So this itself can provide a very huge buying pressure, and it can improve the influencer push, because with this we are not only limited to crypto influencers, but we can go for basically everyone in the space of influencers. Yeah, so that's like the short, let's say, and midterm. Ultimately, we will push this application also to institutional investors, because as you see, we have a working product which will be expanding. Other thing is that we, as promised and as in our roadmap, will bridge to Ethereum and possibly also Cardano, and basically, this will further provide additional investors. BSC investors, early adopters, will be obviously rewarded. We won't, disappoint you guys, because you are the ones that are who are supporting the project currently. But just to let you know that the big funds and so on are currently in Ethereum and Cardano as well. So yeah, those are the plans. I think Adam, Alexander, Robert, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, actually, just a very small update, but we are progressing with the Indacoin. We are on the final KYC things to go, so we're very close to integration. And why this is big? Because once you can invest using a credit card, that opens up doors to a lot of new investors.
Yeah, so I think that wraps it up. Just to maybe sum everything up for new people who joined us now. First of all, the AMA session will be recorded. It's already being recorded. It will be uploaded to our social media channels. Second of all, second thing is that basically we are partnering. Too long didn't read, So we are partnering with Indacoin. The company was incorporated. Tomorrow there will be a 500k YouTuber, crypto YouTuber, very well known in the space, influencer push. In the following weeks, Bloomberg article. We will be also aiming for Forbes and so on, and basically trying to get some institutional investors on board. That's the plan. And on Sunday, the application, the first feature of the application, AI contract audit, releases. I think it itself can create bigger buying pressure for people who just want to, check out new tokens worth investing in or not worth investing in because they are too risky. And in October, there will be limit and stop loss orders feature, and basically some other features if we have time also in October. If we don't, so we'll push hard for the community to vote what's next. This is the update. I think we can go to some questions, like a couple of questions, because course, we'll also run an additional AMA after the app releases next week, so like early next week. But let's have some questions. So raise your hand if you have anything to ask. Okay, I see Mosaic Theory. So I just unmuted you. So yeah, hi there.
Hey, how you doing? I have two
Pretty
questions. Well, I guess first, want to say you guys are doing an excellent job. This is an amazing project. That video presentation just now was fascinating. But my question is kind of boring, but I think necessary. Disclaimers. Will there be disclaimers that pop up very similar to how you guys talked about, this tool is not like a guarantee will protect you. You need to ask more questions just to, protect investors and protect this company. And then my second question is like the data analysis that's gathered from using the audit tool. Will we be able to see like what's the most copied and pasted token contract into the audit tool? What's the most bought contract that is pasted into that audit tool? What's the most sold contract pasted into that? Is that a feature that potentially will be an additional exclusive, or is that just something that could be talked about?
I think I can take this one, Mike. So first of all, yes, there will be disclaimers. There should be disclaimers. I totally agree with you that the tool does not replace your own research. This is a very good point, and we should add that before we launch. To answer the second question, remember that the contract audit is basically just a part of some bigger, let's say, research platform, and you're gonna see the most viewed tokens in the search board, which will combine the information from the contract audit, the social media tracker, and so on and so on. Because at the end of the day, we want to help you automate not only the contract audit but also the social media research and so on. So it will be a bit more holistic. But yeah, this is planned, but not for now. And the very question about trending tokens, let's say, will not require extra payment.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, I can also add one more thing to the AI contract audit, which is really, really cool, because people, have been asking us, and for this specific feature, because the platform will be much more than just AI contract audit. You will have social media trackers, limit and stop loss orders, whale watchers, snipers. This will be a full-fledged solution just to invest in crypto, not only on BSC, but later also on Ethereum, Cardano, and possibly some other blockchains. But as for the AI contract audit, we also have in mind something like running additionally paid features, custom pricing for token developers. So, something that contract audit companies currently do. And they will be able to first get verified by the AI contract audit, but then additionally by our Solidity developers, which are really experienced, and they will have an officially certified audit. Just to improve the revenue, the cash flow into marketing and development of the tool itself. Yeah, but I think that covers it. Thank you very much for your question. If anyone else have some questions, please raise your hand. Let's see. Okay. I don't see anyone raising the hand, so I will repeat this. Click on the button if you have any question.
Michael, I see Mr. Stash. He's had his hand up for a little while now. I can unmute him.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so let's go because we have more than 100 people.
All right,
So
Mr.
yeah.
Stash, you should be good to talk. You might have to unmute yourself.
Hey, did you call for Mr. Stash?
Yes, sir.
Hey, we can hear you well.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Guys, this is awesome. I really appreciate all the work you put into it thus far and coming up on your promises. Quick question. I don't know if it was answered already. I kind of was in and out of this AMA, but it was in regards to the amount of tokens to hold to access certain levels of your guys' software. Do you guys have that set in stone yet, or are you still working that out?
So as for AI contract audit, it's $100 USD equivalent of Move. And as for other features, this will be most likely a tiered system. So let's say if you want to use some more advanced features and so on, so you will have probably to hold more. But I think what's important is that this is not a subscription basis, so it's not like monthly basis or so on. If you hold those tokens, you basically have a lifetime access to selected features. So let's say this is like you would buy a lifetime access. So I think we run a community poll asking about the specific equivalent of Move, and the top two options very close to each other were 50 USD and 100 USD. And after discussing this with our advisors, we've decided to go for 100 USD equivalent of Move. Just one more thing. So we are aware that the market fluctuates a lot. The BNB price, for example, now is dropping. So this is why it will include a threshold of 30%, meaning that, for example, you bought MarketMove today. Its USD equivalent is $100, but tomorrow BNB drops 20%, you have $80. So you will still be able to use the application because of this threshold 30% down or 30% up. So for example, this is how it will go. So does it answer your question?
Let me just add a quick thing, because you mentioned about the lifetime access. Obviously, the access is there as long as you hold the tokens. If you hold them for a lifetime, that as well means that you're going to have lifetime access. Obviously, like also the threshold doesn't go up because you can have as many Move as possibly you can hold and afford. So if you have like all of the moves out there, you can obviously still use the app.
So basically, this means that if you hold MarketMove tokens, if you don't sell them, so you will have the access to the application. As long as you want. If you sell them, you will lose the access to the application. So simple as that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Very good questions.
All
Yes.
right, I see that Bob has his hand up.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Bob, you are on.
Hey, thanks, guys. You guys are doing great. I love the project. My question is kind of more for Adam. So when you're using the app and you slap a contract in there, when the contract isn't live yet, is it gonna pop up as a honeypot? And then my other question, just because trading would obviously be disabled, so I was curious if it's going to say it's a honeypot. And then my other question, without getting too into depth, because I know there's other people in here, what are you guys doing for security down the road when you have the stop losses and stuff? Because I know we basically will have to give you guys access to our wallets. So what kind of security features is there going to be?
All right, so let me answer this question. So, yeah, actually, this is a very good point. What I can tell you now is that probably this would show a honeypot, which is not the great thing. So for now, let's just assume that the application only should work on the tokens that are already trading. So please, just don't use it on the tokens that are not trading yet, and we will fix this very soon because we also know how to do this. But just for the Sunday release, we will also add that in the disclaimer. To answer your other, but it can be done. So in the future, it will also be done. But the real test is once you can actually buy the tokens. That's when we can really tell you. Because otherwise, all we have is the contract audit, which is also very good. As for the next question, the very likely design is that we're not actually gonna take your tokens away, but you're gonna give us approval to sell your tokens. So the way it works is that you still have the tokens on your wallet, but you give us the approval to sell them, to transfer them to another account if the stop loss is triggered. So if in the meantime you're gonna take these tokens away, obviously the stop loss will fail and it will not materialize. This answered the question?
Yeah, kind of. I was curious more like as for outside hackers or I'm not accusing anybody, but you know how the space goes. So like, it's a really good thing that you guys are going to be incorporated, because that definitely shows a level of professionalism. But I meant more for like outside hackers that
Okay,
know
yeah,
that
I can
if they
see.
get into the wallet, they have access to everybody's wallet who gave permission. You see
Of
what I'm
course,
saying?
yes. And a good solution, well, to be honest, we have not yet designed the entire solution. We only have some brief ideas. But what I can tell you right now is that we can utilize the certain features of the smart contract, right? Because the smart contracts are not hackable, because they need to be approved by the entire networks. So one possible solution of that is to only be able to transfer these tokens to a particular, transfer your tokens to a particular token contract. So there are solutions around this, and we're gonna have more definite answers when we will work on this feature.
Cool. Yeah, no, I appreciate the time and answering my question. I realize that it's kind of a, you know, it's hard to, without giving away your secrets, because you know you're obviously creating something that a lot of people are going to try to copy. So you don't want to give away any of your, you know, secret sauce, which is a great thing. And it was a down the road question that I know you guys are probably still working hard on. So I appreciate the time. It was great AMA, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, just to follow up, thank you a lot for this question, because it's a very good question. Just to follow up, we're gonna move as much of the code to the smart contract as possible, because that's the most difficult way to for the hackers to steal any funds.
Yeah, so basically once it's, you know, it's decentralized, so it will really take a tremendous effort to, you know, to bridge it. And I can add one more thing, that obviously, as for the, you know, application itself, it will have protection from, you know, DDoS attacks, you know, like Cloudflare and so on. You know, we cannot disclose anything, but you know, just try to wait a little bit, and I think you'll be satisfied with the overall security of the application. It will really be very, very hard, or I would say impossible, for anyone to bridge it. Yeah, so thank you very much. I think
we will also follow up with a security, let's say, blueprint to let you know how exactly your tokens are being processed.
Yeah, and also at one point, you know, since as for the incorporation, we are already incorporated. This is why we are working with Indacoin, because this is the requirement. But basically, we will also at one point try to get some certificates, you know, security ones as well. Yeah, but I think that covers it all. I think we have time for before we really, because we really need to answer Indacoin as well with the KYB. But I think we have time for one last question. So if you have anything, please try to raise your hand.
All right. Well, I see here Michael VW. His hand's been up a while. So, Michael, you are on. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, my question was these indicators that I saw under the warning and critical in the presentation. Are these like all the major dangers that we as investors should look out for? Like, could you tell us a bit more like how these indicators were chosen? And also, I was wondering, in the future, will they be updated, as like scammers always find new ways to scam? So, will there also be updates to keep them, you know, up to date?
So here's the cool thing: we can always learn from. Well, obviously, to start with the answer, yes, it will be updated, because there are new, very interesting ideas the scammers come up with every day. So this is like an antivirus database. It will be updated. But what's actually cool about this is that this is AI driven, so you can submit your ratings of an issue. So for example, if you see that the system misclassified something as an issue, you can vote on that. You can also mark a fragment of code and flag it for review if you believe that there is another issue we didn't find. What is important for us, as you can see, there are three categories: decentralization, security, and code quality. So these are basically the decentralization and security are the most important things we're looking at. So the source of, let's say, most of the problems stem from the decentralization part. So this is the place where the contract owners can arbitrarily change stuff, and this is something we want to warn you, not because it's necessarily a bad thing, but that is something that you need to be aware that can be done and that you should ask questions. And also, contract audit is just one part of the review. So this is, this is very important for you to do, but this is nowhere enough. So do your own research. This tool is supposed to, let's say, automate and help you out, but it's never gonna replace the research that you still need to do. Still need to ask around to make sure that that this is a legit thing, that there is nothing going wrong with this particular contract token or anything. And but this is going to significantly speed you up.
Yeah, thank you, Adam, also for the cool music in the background. Let me add like one more thing. So basically, the application itself will include a feedback mechanism to gather information directly from users. And also, if you looked at the bottom right corner, there will also be a support button. So if you find something shady, you can also report it. And ultimately, we'll have Solidity developers in-house, which will be there for you, not just standard support guys, but Solidity developers. Obviously, it will be paid additionally, to have some, let's say, direct consultation with a Solidity developer, similar to, like Fiverr or something, to consult it. But basically, answering your question, thanks to the AI-driven engine of the solution and the feedback mechanism, it will be able to stay up to date. As you've seen with Gravy token, this is a new concept on BSC. This is not a new concept on like other blockchains, but it's a new concept on BSC, and we are still able to detect it, that it's probably a critical issue. Yeah, I think,
maybe I can also add one more thing, and this is not set in stone, it's just an idea. So as with all of the ideas, we're looking for the community feedback. But one thing we're very heavily considering is for the contract, let's say, contract owners, the contract creators, to be able to submit a request for an additional audit. So, for example, let's say that that we have detected a honeypot when it's not really a honeypot, but a very special token that, for example, needs 5 seconds every time before you sell a token. They can submit and ask for a manual review. And obviously, this is also going to be a paid feature, so that they can have also a human look at it and maybe a possibility to add comments to comment on the particular warnings.
Yeah, this is something also which is also really cool. I will answer one more question from the chat. So, or from the chat, So basically, the super fan asked us if we will accept, if we consider accepting Move token only for additional features. So this is something we will discuss with the community, because obviously it can be a double-edged sword. First of all, if we accept Move payments only, and those are like some serious, advanced reports and analysis, those can cost a lot. And if we were to monetize them, to use for marketing or for development, basically, so this could provide, so this could basically mean that if we were to use those funds, we would need to sell MarketMove. So this is not something we really want. So we would like to balance between MarketMove and possibly maybe BNB. But at this point, for the upcoming months, we will it will only include Move tokens, MarketMove tokens, no stable coins, no BNB, and so on, just to make sure that the buying pressure is right and the current investors are satisfied with the price action. But ultimately we will discuss this with the community. If you look at our roadmap, at one point we are considering going with DAO, so basically letting investors and holders decide of the roadmap and development. Yeah, so I think it wraps everything up. The AMA was recorded. It will be uploaded tomorrow. I will do myself some audio mixing things just to make sure it sounds right. We'll upload this to YouTube, and tomorrow you can expect some cool marketing things before the official app release on Sunday. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for your time, for your questions. Very intelligent, very smart questions. I like it. Yeah, and talk to you soon. The next AMA should be within, and will be within the next week after the app releases. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
guys.
Yeah, great job.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody.